on YouTube?
I
Like,
just deleted
okay.
some of the versions. Actually, I need to. Well, good evening. Um,
Yes.
we are
Hi,
here
sorry.
with Reese from Autostraddle,
Mhm.
and I'm Emelina from Curve. And I recently went to ACamp, which was extraordinarily amazing. I was rocking the ACamp sweater for like 4 days in a row.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so Reese, um, so let's start talking about some ACamp. Where did the idea come for creating ACamp?
It came to me in the middle of the night. Really, it did. Like, I woke up at 2 a.m. and I was like, oh my God, we should have a camp. And I wrote it down on a piece of paper. And the next day I was like, Alex, I just had this idea. We're going to have a camp. This is going to be our thing. Wait, hang on. I need to tell Lenny to stop chatting me.
Okay, I deleted the link on Twitter, but now I'm gonna find it on YouTube.
Okay.
uh, Here we go. So as we're just
Okay, so sorry. Sorry.
oh no, me too,
I have to be in constant contact with Linnea at all times, otherwise I die. Um, all right, ACamp, yeah. Well, actually, I mean, it came from a lot of things. Like, I think, honestly, the biggest, like, inspiration, really, for ACamp was uh, very early on, like the summer of 2009. We had a pride party in New York, and we had been around for, like, 2 months or something, and we didn't have very many readers. We had, like, 5 staff members. We also had, like, 13 interns. How we were having this pride party in June, and, like, if they had any ideas for how they could help us, like, promote it. And within like 2 days, we got an email from one of the interns saying that all of them were coming to the party, like all 13 of them. And this is like from Canada, from Ohio, from California, from Belgium.
Damn.
All of them were coming to the party, and like one of them had a hotel room, and they were all going to be here. And we were like, oh my God, that's crazy and awesome. But that, and then they came, and it was crazy and awesome, and it was just amazing to have us all there.
Yeah.
And I also realized, like, by the fact that, like, I mean, these were like 19, 20-year-old kids who like didn't have a lot of spending money, you know, but for some reason they had all made the effort and taken the time and the few resources that they had to like come, because that's how badly they wanted to meet each other and to be around people like them. And I kind of felt like, and also they didn't want to miss it. They felt like something exciting was happening with people they cared about and were interested in, and they didn't want to miss it. And I think that's what like sort of got the people, like, we are very, I wouldn't say desperate, but kind of, we are a little desperate to meet people like us, and not just that, like, other queer people, but, you know, other, like, I don't know, other queer people who like Autostraddle, and other queer people who like books but also television, and who care about politics and also sometimes care about their hair, and also people who like none and all of those things. It's hard to pin down exactly what an Autostraddler is, but I guess smart and fun.
Mm-hmm. And so that's
And so that sort of set the seeds, and you know, after a few dinosaurs and stuff, and we sort of felt like there was this void missing. Like, why wasn't anyone doing this? Why wasn't anyone making a place for us to meet each other? The meetup weeks were crazy successful. Like, people were like forming whole new friend groups from one meetup. Why not like host our own meetup on a mountain for 4 days? And it's not like, I don't know, looking up camps, like how much it costs to rent a camp and stuff, and you know, because I knew it had to be like, we couldn't do like a traditional conference because that's expensive. You have to like get a hotel room and everything. So I guess, I don't know, that's sort of a long answer, but it could be longer. So
your shirt you're wearing, which ACamp is that from?
It's from May Camp.
May Camp?
Mm-hmm. It's my favorite one of all the ACamp shirts because it's red, and that's my fave, besides purple.
Was it super surreal after only 2 months of being there? All those interns wanted to fly out from all over the world to meet up. Like, how crazy was that of how fast everything was progressing?
I mean, nothing that's ever happened with all of this has really like made sense.
Mm-hmm.
So there's things that I guess should be surprising, but we also had no. I mean, every day of doing this is sort of a surprise, you know. So it was crazy, but I don't know if that makes sense.
I missed the last word you said. It was crazy, but
so is everything.
oh yeah, definitely that makes sense. Um, so it was 2009. It was right around that time when you woke up in the middle of the night with this camp idea.
Oh no, I woke up in the middle of the night with a camp idea in 2010,
Oh, okay.
like July of 2010 or something, maybe earlier. Um, one of this like business person who worked with us in the very beginning kept talking about how we should like do, how we would eventually become a thing that could do conferences and stuff like that. And I don't know. I'm not sure where the idea came from, to be honest.
Do you want to branch out to conferences?
Yeah, maybe one day. I mean,
yeah.
Sure. But right now I feel like we've got this sort of combo of like a summer camp conference thing.
Yeah, it's super awesome. I love how it's like really chilled back and you can just like get to know tons of people, but then also a lot of fun. And then also like super educational where you can just like learn a lot about not just different topics, but also others' experiences or yourself through all the different like panels and workshops. So it's super badass.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah. So how did you go about like creating the whole template, like from 1 through 4 of like the workshops and the panels and all the activities? Like, how did that come about?
Well, the first time was really haphazard, I guess. We sort of just, well, from like, to rewind, like I basically, Marnie, who's my girlfriend, is the camp co-director, and she had been a director of like Christian camps growing up. And so when I first started talking to her about it, this was before even I moved out here and before we were actually together, like we talked about this being like the kind of thing that she'd be good at. So it was sort of a natural idea to have her be in charge of it. And then when I was like in New York visiting once and having dinner, I like sort of floated the idea to a bunch of people, which is like Carly, Robin, Steph, Jess, like a lot of people were at that dinner. And Robin was like, oh my God, I love camp. Like I was a camp director, or a camp counselor and all this stuff. And I was like, I think they'd make like a good team, even though they'd never actually met.
Oh,
wow. Yeah. So, or I think maybe they had met once, but it was like at a party in New York like years ago, or months ago, but it felt like years ago.
Uh-huh.
They didn't know each other. So they were sort of in charge of that. And basically, I think, they just emailed everybody and were like, what activities would you want to lead? The only thing that like we knew we wanted to do was that we wanted to have a gender panel and that we wanted to have a women of color panel. And that I wanted to do Jeopardy. And I'm not sure if we had any other like initial ideas. Oh, and we wanted to do a talent show. Uh-huh. And most of the rest of it came from basically suggestion, like what our staff proposed. And so like our activities and panels and everything have always sort of been dependent on the talents and experience and skills of our staff. They propose stuff and we approve it or we don't.
That's cool. Did you have the talent show the first year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a talent show the first 3 camps. This camp we didn't have it though. We did a lot of things differently this camp. Mm-hmm. And I think it worked. But we had the like people performing at the carnival and also at we also had the camp talks thing too. You gave a camp talk, so you probably remember it.
Did. I remember the camp talks. It
was awesome.
Yeah, and the carnival was a blast. I was telling Robin and Marnie when I was talking to them that it was great just to have something outdoors and a little more relaxed and like tons of variety. Yeah, I loved all the panels, but also sometimes it's hard for me to just like sit down for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. So just being able to roam around and like play darts or like throw the football and run around or get some advice from you and Linnea and the puppet show, just like so much going on. It was amazing. Yeah. A lot of campers had said in surveys like that they wanted to meet people from other cabins or that they wanted more downtime. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm somebody who's like super introverted and awkward, and so like I like things to be really structured because whenever there's free time, I feel a lot of anxiety. Like, oh my God, no, I'm gonna have to go like talk to people on my own. I don't even know how to do that. And so we wanted to find sort of an in-between thing that we could do where it was enough structure that somebody who needed that structure could find enough stuff to do even by themselves. Yeah. But where it was also loose enough that it was like allowed for like more kind of like intermingling of campers and stuff in an environment that wasn't like dancey or nighttime or so that worked out.
pretty well. Like it went
Yeah.
really well. It was super cute too. It looks good. Like the decorations looked really good too.
And I
I was,
love the costumes. Marnie's bear
yeah, and the bear
costume,
costume.
and
Yeah,
then
the bear
the
costume.
top hat costume too.
Oh yeah, yeah, Robin's costume. That was so cute.
Mhm. And you said that that you wanted the camp activity to be comfortable for introverts. And I
Hmm.
remember you saying something about that at camp, that you kind of created camp with that in mind. What kind of things did you do to build that kind of support?
I think we try to have a lot of activities that are like introvert friendly, where if you don't feel comfortable like doing interactive stuff, or you don't necessarily feel like you're ready to like learn how to cheerlead or do improv, that there's stuff you can sit and watch, and there's also stuff you can do in terms of like crafts, or we even have like one activity where we literally just sit at a table and all write together at the same time, and that's the whole activity. Um, and we had like an introvert pride activity on the first morning that Crystal and I did, and they've done introvert meetups in the past.
Oh, cool.
And also by having a lot of the cabin thing, I hope helps, because the whole idea of like cabins and your counselor stuff is sort of a children's summer camp holdover, but I think it gives people like a kind of a grounding for where they can kind of make friends by default if they don't feel comfortable like just approaching random people over time. I mean, obviously, like if you have a lot of social anxiety and stuff, like camp isn't going to fix that. But I want it to be a place where nobody will judge you for like wanting to walk off on the woods by yourself or wanting to sit and read while everyone else is at the pool party.
Yeah.
I think that is that's like one of my main hopes for it, I guess, is that at least it's a place where you won't be judged for being an introvert. Even like, or if you're too awkward to talk to people, and that's unpleasant in its own way, but at least you won't be judged for being too awkward to talk to people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I noticed well, not I noticed. For me in general, the whole experience was like super welcoming and easygoing and like relaxing. What's the word? I guess I felt it was very safe. Safe is the word. And then, but I also noticed like with the cabin mates, like we had dinner together with our cabin mates, or sometimes we'd chill in Wolf Lodge or go back to the cabin. So that was definitely like a grounding point outside of just the overall welcoming safety feeling. Like having the cabins also helped a ton too.
Oh, that's
So
great.
yeah, that was cool. And I loved the color wars. That was very exciting.
Yeah, even though were you on the winning team?
I was.
Oh. I see.
Were
Well,
you
my team won
purple?
the last two camps,
I
but
heard that you won the last three.
no, there was no color wars at the first camp.
Okay, cool, cool. I was misinformed. But you guys were like the leaders.
Yeah, which everybody was suspicious about because it was my team.
I,
So everyone in my cabin was like, "We have to win," and I was like, "It would probably be better if we didn't."
ooh. Are you saying it was a fixed third win?
No, no, it
Okay.
wasn't. None of our
Oh,
wins had
good,
ever been
good.
fixed, but it seems suspicious.
Yeah.
It seems suspicious that my team always won. But the reason is that I used to always host trivia, and no one would come besides my own cabin.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing for purple. Are you super competitive?
Nope.
No, just a natural purple winner. That's
Yeah,
good.
I just really love the color purple, and I want to support anything that raises the profile of that color.
um, so out of the four A camps, or that's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say is, so you're a counselor and the creator. So do you get to experience that really just like warm community vibe as a counselor? Because I'm assuming it's kind of different from my camper experience. It's like kind of what's the counselor experience?
I mean, definitely, like, I think meeting and getting close to like the people who have been in my cabin has been like the best, or one of the best, if not the best, like experiences that I've had like since starting Autostraddle. And it has given me, it's hard to like be in this little cave every day like on my computer, and you don't really see the people that that you interact with, and I don't really even see the people that I work with ever. And having those faces and knowing those people like gives me life, so to speak, and also puts like, I don't know, it like seeing and being close to those people feels like a very natural extension of the philosophy of the website itself, and the seeing them, but the most rewarding part is seeing them like bonding it close to each other. I love like I love that. I think I'm sort of like, I'm not necessarily that great at making friends myself, but I love making like putting people together who I think will be friends, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably one of my main skills, I guess, is trying to like match people to each other, people I think they'll get along with. And like when I see people, especially like over camps, and see how much, you know, some of these campers have changed or changed their lives or come out or moved or like gotten closer to each other, like I love it. Like it fills me with so much joy in my heart to see them getting closer to each other and to see them like growing and learning and becoming like awesomer, even awesomer people together. I think definitely though, as like a counselor, it's sort of weird because I spend a lot of time telling everyone like, oh, it's okay to be introverted and, you know, no one's going to judge you. But also like as a counselor and working at camp, like sort of my job is to do exactly what I'm telling them they don't have to do, which is try to pretend like I'm an extrovert for 4 days and like suffuse every like natural instinct I have to like, you know, go hide behind a familiar face or to like, you know, go huddle in my cabin. But it's definitely the easiest place for me not to do that because I'm so excited to like meet everybody. I just wish it like went on forever so that I could meet and talk to everyone because I want to. Like I literally would like to hang out with every single person who comes to camp for a little bit of time at least. And it's sad that I don't get to. And also that I don't always know how to really, you know.
Yeah, that's what I wrote in one. I took the post survey.
Oh yeah.
And one of the things they wrote is, although I thought it was like a good length of time, like part of me wished there was more time because there's like so many. It's not like, you know, thousands of people, but still it's like, you know, hundreds, like so many people. So it's hard to make individual connections with everyone. But those were the most rewarding things to make those connections.
Yeah, totally. I wish that's why. I mean, I always want. That's usually by last day. I feel like I've just gotten started, sort of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with people. And so I want it to be like all the time so that I can meet everybody and talk to everybody.
And I just had one of those blank moments. But on the subject of not being blank, oh, you're talking about like these huge life changes people are making, like coming out or moving or just creating these like super awesome friendships. What were some of those stories that you've heard of the changes that people have made after ACamp?
After the first ACamp, a shit ton of campers like moved to LA and another whole group moved to San Francisco.
Damn.
I mean, I don't want to like tell anyone's personal story for
Uh-huh.
them. But you know, there's definitely like after every camp always several people who come out to their family, like for better or for worse. People who break up with asshole girlfriends. Um, but a lot of it is just moving, you know.
Mhm.
The people they met at camp, they finally have a community somewhere, or the ones that don't, I'm constantly seeing on Facebook like them meeting up with each other in other ways. And obviously it's always super cute when people meet and like start dating and fall in love. One of my campers from September camp is now engaged to somebody that she met at camp, and they're going to get married soon.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's cool.
That's like a whole new spin on finding love at ACamp. Because I was thinking about
Yeah,
self-love for myself, but that's like, bam, a whole nother level.
yeah, I know. And so that's always cute and rewarding. Or people who become more, you know, it's really great when people start to feel like I don't care, I don't feel like I have to apologize for being queer anymore, or you know, I'm more confident, like, you know, being a femme or being masculine of center and not feeling like I have to conform to other people's standards now because I know that there's other people out there like me, you know.
Yeah. Do you ever get like letters or online messages from people from ACamp like thanking you?
Hmm.
How does that feel to receive those kind of words?
It feels the best. It feels like the best feelings, like rewarding, obviously. I don't. It feels. I don't know. It's everything really. I don't always feel like I know what to say in return, but this job is kind of hard and frustrating, and so those messages and hearing those things, all of them, like, is sort of what gets me through the hard parts of this and the negative stuff or the negativity, because I get like negative stuff too because this is the internet, and so that's sort of like those are my I keep them, or like the notes that people write me at camp, I like keep them close to me, and when things get hard I read them over and over again. And those I have like some that are like on my wall in front of me right now. So yeah, those are everything. I'm supposed to be like a words person, but I don't know that I have the words for that. Besides that, but it's also surreal. It's like I can't. All of it is so surreal. It's really surreal that I was involved in something that meaningful for somebody, I guess.
And that you kind of helped spark and create it all too.
Yeah. Also, I'm always like, oh, it's not me. I didn't do anything. Because that's just my personality, I guess.
So what are your favorite aspects of camp, like from an activities panel point of view?
My favorite aspects of camp are the night comedy stuff because they're so funny. Oh, I always I love the music parts, the night music, like the crickets. No, like I love the ACamp Palooza that we had, or like we had Lilith Fair last time, and I love that. It's so cool because also those are like a lot of my like best friends or like people who are closest to me in the world up there, like playing and singing, and also just like this past time when everyone was like up and dancing, and it was like, I don't know, it was just awesome. I love that. I think probably the musical night is like my favorite thing, and then also the comedy is always really funny too. And obviously getting close to my cabin. In terms of like activities, I don't always get to go to a lot of activities because I'm like, sometimes I wish I could be at camp, or I could be anyone but me at camp. Like I could just be a random staff member who like could spend more time going to things than doing things, or like having to like handle accounting with the camp director, like all that stupid logistical shit that I end up always getting pulled away to do. I don't know. I guess the evening stuff is the stuff I like the most. But also whenever there's a panel that like really resonates with people, like apparently the panel we did this time called Crazy Beautiful, which was about mental health stuff. That's hearing about that afterwards, like that it resonated with someone, or illuminated something for them, or made them feel less weird about this or that aspect of themselves. That's definitely, that's the best.
Yeah, I love that one a lot. I also loved Tardy to the Party. I love them both for like different reasons, because I couldn't really relate so much to Tardy to the Party, but it was great just like the level of emotional honesty in the things that people were sharing, and to like hear like a variety of experiences that I'm not necessarily exposed to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that was like super, super cool. And then I love the Crazy Beautiful one, just like to talk about like second coming outs, and and like for myself, like I've viewed my own mental disorder as kind of, or a mood disorder, as I guess like a journey with that, from frustration to completely accepting it. But then coming to the panel, I realized there's like more levels of acceptance that I wasn't quite aware of. So I was like, oh hey, this is pretty cool. Yeah, so definitely all the panels, and I loved those, and I think I already said it, but the emotional honesty of just like everything within camp, I think that was definitely a key part to it.
Yeah, I think it's really magical how that happens, and I was really glad the Tardy for the Party thing went so well. when I was going through everybody's like information to put the cabins together, and I was like, there's a lot of people this time who like are in their 30s or late 20s or 40s or even 50s, who have like recently come out or who were married to a man and then came out afterwards, stuff like that. I was like, we need to like do something, like have an activity that addresses this, because they're going to come here, they're not going to realize how many other people have had that experience, and so we have to like create an activity to make sure they can all be in the same place and figure that out. And so that's how that came about, and I'm really glad that it went so well, and like everybody really loved that. And I'm a person who didn't know they were gay when they were younger and didn't come out. I wasn't involved in anything queer in college, and I wasn't queer in college, and so like I can definitely relate a little bit to that experience of feeling like your narrative isn't the one that is more popularly accepted, which is the like, I always knew, blah, 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 and then I was a women's studies major. And I was like, I was sitting at a frat house drinking beer. So, SARS.
It was cool, too, at that panel how, like, so many people had that similar experience. So it was really cool to see that kind of camaraderie, or that kind of realization that, you're not the only one who's experienced that.
Yeah, definitely.
So for ACamp 5.0, what are some things we can expect from that?
I don't know right now. I have no idea. We're still reeling from ACamp 4.0. I mean, we have to go through the surveys. I think definitely one of the things that was really great this time was that we had brought in staff members, not just like from the writing staff of Autostraddle, but like from the calendar girls who came in with their own talents that aren't the same kinds of things that like writers are good at, like reading and ballet and stuff. We're not really, all of us aren't that athletic. So I think that definitely going forward, like we want to get more, and also like having Lex and Megan there from Me and My Boys was great. And we want to bring in more people like that who are like experts in their field and have like really interesting, dynamic, unique skills to share with the group. So I think at each camp we sort of, the first camp was, most of our activities were pretty general, or like, I don't know, I guess you could say predictable, I guess. But so we're definitely interested in more and more like really unique, unique original programming that like you can't find anywhere else. And the more variety we have of like athletic stuff and crafty stuff and feelingsy stuff, definitely the better. And we'll definitely do some sort of spin on the carnival idea, because that really worked. And it'll also be great because in May the pool will be open, which is something that generally like strikes fear into my heart. Like I hate pools, but like we had a pool party at the last May camp, and it was awesome, and everyone loved it, and everyone had such a good time. Like this is the first time I've ever had fun at a pool party. When I went, I was like, oh my god, like all these different kinds of bodies and people like out there just having fun and being themselves, and it was great. And so we'll have that, and it'll also be a lot warmer, so we'll have a lot more options in that area. I think definitely the only thing so far that I've thought of that I definitely want to do is have some structured time for like location-based meetups, so that people can connect with. Because there's people I talked to after camp who are like, oh yeah, there's no queers in Iowa, and I was like, there were 2 other queers from Iowa at camp, and so something to get those people like together with each other, and I think I'm giving myself a pass on thinking too much about next camp, at least for another month, maybe. We'll see.
When I arrived on at the LAX airport, I met quite a few people from Iowa and Illinois, and like I guess all these states where there's not a lot going on that I know of. But it's really cool. It's really cool just to see like the variety of where people are coming from. I think like one of my cabin mates was from the Netherlands. I'm hoping I'm getting that right. Counselor from Australia, people from the UK, from Scotland. I'm like, hey, all super cool accents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was super cool.
Have quite a few from Australia, actually.
Yeah. And what's it like to be able to come and then like have like staff, interns, like all these people that you do work with that may not see all the time, and then be able to like see them in person.
It's like amazing. It's made our team a lot stronger. It's really, really like working with people only online is really, really hard. And honestly, like it really sucks. Like I wish we were all in the same place, and we are in the same place. We get shit done way faster.
Oh, nice.
But having that time to actually see each other is great. It like nothing can really replace it. The only thing, I mean, but also at the same time, like it's so hard to balance, at least for me, like all the things I have to do at camp in terms of being a counselor, the activities I'm doing. Like I usually have a few activities every day I'm leading or participating in, as well as just general like admin stuff. I wish there was more time to like see all the staff as well, because sometimes we have like new people, or like we even had like 2 writers who came at campers this time, who I feel like I didn't get to talk to at all, and I wish I had. But yeah, it's definitely like it's amazing. I mean, these are most of them are the people that like I love most in the world, and so getting to see them and to build this thing with them and to have all these other people involved in it is magical, and I love seeing them like get to like share their talents and skills with the campers, and see how good they are at like building this community and enhancing it, and it just like really warms my heart. Also, they're all really funny, which is great. So I like laughing a lot. I laugh a lot.
Laughing is good. You also have a good sense of humor too.
Thanks.
You've made me laugh sometimes during this interview as well as at ACamp.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's the idea.
Some of it was like literal laughing out loud.
Like LOLing, but like
in real life.
Is that a Buffy mug?
That is, yes.
That's amazing. That's so oh, maybe next time Linnea will finally get to live her dream of doing a Once More with Feeling sing-along thing.
Oh my gosh, I would die with happiness inside. Maybe come to life with happiness. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Okay. So I heard that. Well, actually, I'll get to that a little bit. So if you were to describe ACamp to like a person who's never been to ACamp, how would you describe it?
I would describe it as a sort of part, like a conference, half summer camp. Wait, I'm going to add another half, so I have to go back and make it thirds. I would say it's like a conference summer camp hybrid for queer adults, mostly queer women, but also like we have gender variant people and a few trans guys. And that it is a variety of like panels and workshops that go from like feelingsy things and topics like, you know, like gender, bisexuality, non-monogamy, sex, kink, and then there's also traditional camp crafts, and there's like special camp crafts, sports, different like, you know, workshops where you can learn things like being a drag king or writing erotica, with nighttime entertainment brought by special guests and comedians like Deanne Smith or Julie Goldman, and that there's a make-out rave. Oh, wait, no, I wouldn't tell them about Club Deer because that you have to find out when you get there. And basically that it's just like, I don't know, it's a bringing together of a bunch of different interesting, cool people for 5 days to learn some shit and hang out in the mountain and above all, you know, have fun. It's fun.
Also, I love the mailboxes, like the camp mailboxes. You could send people letters from other cabins or your own, and I love the stars. Like, I was blown away at nighttime when there were stars, and like I went back to my cabin to get like my little whatever that distance glasses things are, and then I laid on the ground hoping that no bears would come, and I just stared at the sky. That was super crisp and like tons of stars. That was crazy.
Yeah, it's beautiful up there. It's really, it's before you guys all get there when it's still really quiet. It's something else. When you get there, it's also something else. It's amazing, you know.
A different kind of something else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that question that I put on hold. Now I'm blanking on what that question was. Oh, I read online International Autostraddle Meetup. What's that about?
That's when everyone from Autostraddle was going to be in the same island in the Indian Ocean on the same day. No, it's not. It's a different. I don't know. I'm not in charge of International Meetup Week. It's like a different
Okay.
different groups of Autostraddlers in different cities all over the world.
Oh,
Hold events
cool.
like on a designated week. We have a few of them every year, and there's like usually a few different events for in the big cities, and hopefully like one event in every smaller place that people want to gather, and all over the world. And hopefully they'll all send pictures and send them to us so that we can see how cute everyone is, which is really cute.
I believed you for a second. Like I was wondering what island do you all go on? A little gullible there. There's
Yeah, we also own an island. It's a secret island. We only go there once a year. You know, we're very
on
busy.
yeah, on International Autostraddle Meetup Day.
Yeah, yeah. And you have to swim there.
Yeah. Are you a good swimmer?
Nope,
No, me neither. Um,
I barely can swim.
On Google, there's this thing I just read about. I guess it's what's Google Plus, where you could create these events, and whoever you invite them to, like everybody could submit photos and video, and all gets like put in the same album. So it's kind of like a big group live social mediating thing going on. Maybe that could be cool for the International Autostraddle Meetup Day.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds like technology. I'll ask Vanessa about it.
Yeah. Um, so what's your like your 2 5 year your more mid long term goals of where you see ACamp going?
Eventually, it's going to be a commune, and we're all going to live on it. And I'm going to have a bookstore and a library. And we're going to have camps, and we're going to have a farm, and it's going to be amazing. But as for a like solid like 2 year, 5 year thing, mm, we're considering a lot of possibilities. You'll see.
Okay, cool, cool.
It'll be good though. We usually like to surprise people with everything that we do. Maybe because we're afraid that if we tell people ahead of time and then we don't actually do it, it'll be confusing. But also because that's just our style. So you'll have to wait and see, but it'll be good.
Okay,
And
cool.
also the commune, obviously, because I'd like to like own property and then like we could have the camps there, but then we also all live there. I'm secretly a socialist hippie, so just trying
Is
to
this,
do the best I can in this world.
is the commune a legit idea, or is that like the island?
No, it's a legit idea.
Oh, cool, cool. Okay, I like that idea. Um, so relating to ACamp, is there anything else you'd like to share about it?
I don't think so. I'm just trying to think if there's anything that we talked about. Mm, no, I think maybe just the most important thing is that we think ACamp is fun, and everybody should know that if they come, they should want to have fun because we're going to have a lot of fun. It's also really important to us to be inclusive of trans women because I know that a lot of queer women spaces aren't, and that's always really important to us. And I also would say that we're sorry about the fact that everyone got stranded on the mountain in the snowstorm. Hopefully that was really exciting for you guys.
And
And
a
it won't
great
have
bonding experience.
what? Yeah, it was a
And
great
you had
bonding
a good,
experience, right?
yeah.
People like the first camp it was even worse. We could barely get everyone up the mountain. At least this time it was only like 25 people. It wasn't like everyone, you know.
Yeah.
But we missed you at the initiation ceremonies if you were one of those people in that snowstorm. But the snow was so pretty though. Also, wasn't it pretty?
Yeah, it reminded me of that those books, wardrobe, closet.
Oh, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah, yeah. That's what some of
Narnia.
my campers were calling it, Narnia.
I was just like imagining is only missing some light posts as we're driving up. I was like, this is gorgeous. It's
Yeah.
very beautiful.
I think that's all. Just that we're really excited about the future of ACamp and where it can go from here, and we have a lot of ideas about how we can expand and grow in the future, and that we're really excited about May Camp, and that every camp gets better and better, and that I love everybody who comes to camp. And if I didn't talk to you last time, then hopefully I can talk to you next time. And then I'm sorry I'm so busy, but I really do love all your faces. Is that?
That's great. So
and I love your face too.
Thank you. I love your face as well. So the May camp dates, do you have the dates for the next ACamp?
It's going to be around the 21st, 26th-ish, but I can't tell you specifically because we don't know yet. But it's around that time, so like, late, like mid to late May.
I like how
definitely Memorial Day will be involved. That's the holiday that's then, right?
Maybe. It could be.
President's Day, I don't know. Some other, I don't know. All of our holidays in this country are so weird. Whatever day, it's going to be that May holiday will be involved in the time period that camp takes place.
Okay, that sounds good.
And if anybody has found the bear costume, please let us know. Thanks.
Is the bear costume literally missing? Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, it's really sad for me because I sort of liked using it as like a Snuggie. It's really comfortable. Yeah.
Are there random pictures of you just chilling out in the bear costume like in everyday life?
There's one of me on my birthday passed out in the bear costume that Marnie took and sent to everybody on her phone that said Riese has had too much birthday. It was true though. I had had too much birthday. I was tired. So yeah, there's one picture. I don't know where it is though.
So if people want to find ACamp online, where should they go?
a-camp.org. Or you can go to Autostraddle, and we talk about ACamp too. Autostraddle.com. It's a website. It's really fun. Sorry.
And then ACamp's on Twitter and Facebook too?
Yes. We are on Facebook. I think you could probably just search.
Yeah.
For it. Like it's like Camp Autostraddle, I think is the name of the group, like in the URL. Mm-hmm. And then yeah, we're on Twitter. It's like ACamp 2013 is the Twitter thing with like the underscores, like A_camp_.
Are you guys gonna keep that Twitter?
Also there's a Tumblr, the unofficial Tumblr, just run by Emily Gigler, who was a camper who became a counselor at this last camp, and that is, I think, autostraddlecamp.tumblr.com, but I could be wrong. Or you could go to autostraddle.tumblr.com and it's linked in the sidebar correctly.
Okay, cool. Cool. So is there anything else you want to share before we head off?
No, I don't think so.
Cool.
I want to thank all of you guys who've come to ACamp for supporting us and supporting Autostraddle and supporting each other, and that I'm really excited for the future and what we can all do and learn and be together in our big family of weirdos.
Could we do a virtual high five?
Yeah.
Whoa. Bam.
Did I do good?
That was good. Yeah, one more time. Whoa.
Okay.
So this is the end of our interview, and if you look at the YouTube video, which is probably where you're watching this right now as you're watching this, you'll find links to ACamp on Tumblr and Facebook and Twitter and Autostraddle and ACamp website and fun. Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.